Good morning, traders. So we're still using the alligator for our daily review and looking at the Dow Jones. So looking at the weekly, we are heading into a fairly strong area of support. Let me just change this back to our blue. Okay, so we're heading into an area of resistance. Sorry, not support. It was support, but it's now become resistance. So you can see all of these tails are basically the previous breakout. Okay, we have taken out some of them already, but this zone that we're heading into, if you look to the left, you can see how the buyer stepped in on this zone. Now, this is an area of interest for me to see what's going to happen. Now, V reversals are pretty much pretty rare, and this is a V reversal at the moment. So I do suspect we're going to find sellers stepping into this market pretty soon. Okay, and the area that we're coming up to is pretty significant. Anyway, let's just get down to the daily, just have a look what happened yesterday. There was a long yesterday, and run that. I'll run through that with you just now on the lower time frames. But at the moment, we're still just ambling up. Tails to top, tails to bottom. Bit of indecision. We are overbought, quite far extended at the moment, and we are flirting with the top of the alligator, and the alligator is kind of twisting and turning to the upside. So this is a warning sign that the trend could be changing, but I still would like to see a pullback. Okay, like to see a pullback, which would allow us to actually get in on the trade. Okay, so on the 4 hour, you can see we are still flirting with the 4 hour 200 EMA, which is pretty much inside this zone. So this zone is extremely, extremely critical. Okay, you can see how we did sell off yesterday, and then the buyer stepped in, and you can see the level that they stepped in off. Not really rocket science. There's my inside tails. Okay, if you look to the left, it lines up with another inside tail, lines up with more inside tails there. So that in itself was a fairly significant level. Let's just make it red. You can see it. So we'll look at it on the lower time frame, but that was your entry, pretty much over there. That was your entry long. Okay, so a reason being, trend is up. A lot of people thought that this was a channel break to the downside. But even if it was a channel break to the downside, you need to play in the direction of the trend, and the trend is up until it is confirmed as a break. So in other words, run back up and test the break like it's doing now. And now if it starts selling off, that is your short opportunity. Okay, so always trade in the direction of the trend. Wait for the second move to the upside. If you look at it on the hour, you can see we had a bit of a double top here. So there was a short here off the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. You can see how the oscillators grouped the downside. You can see we formed the fractal just short of this level. Okay, and you should have had your lines drawn in, because there's your first opportunity and there is your next opportunity, and you can see that's exactly where it got to. So the inside tail is a critical part of my trading strategy anyway. So that was along what was the target. Target was the previous high, or the 4 hour 200 EMA, which is where we got to. Okay, and again from a price action perspective on the hour, you can see we broke through the alligator, came back to test the break, which was your second entry long. If I put a level here, there's your retest. So it broke above that level, which was the alligator as well, came back, tested it, would have been another long entry, stopped below this fractal here, and you could still be in long, but for me, this level that we're at is too strong. I'm not looking for longs here. Okay, I'm looking to see what happens and possibly chase the short. So if this turns out to be double top, that's pretty much what we will trade. Okay, so that's pretty short and sweet today. You could see another attempt into this area. I don't expect us breaking through this area this morning. I don't see us moving through here this morning at all. If anything, I see us moving back the downside to come and test this, maybe test this break again, or alternatively, just heading sideways the whole day. Okay, it's going to take something fairly significant to break through this area here. And I'm more of the opinion that we're going to get sellers stepping in here soon. Okay, so that's kind of my view of this at the moment. I don't really see a long trade. I don't want to trade long at this stage, not until we sort of have a decent size pullback at the moment. So right now, this is looking like a double top. So I'll wait it out to see what happens. And the last thing is this. So if I just do that, you can see there's a previous swing low, previous swing low. We broke below it, so we're coming up to test it now. Okay. Yeah, and then the last thing here, just as a review of yesterday, was we had this fractal break. Sorry, not fractal break, this wedge break. So there was our wedge, wedge break, breakout. So you are looking for a long on the wedge breakout, but you always want the retest. Mistake we often make is we look for the retest. You get the 4 hour. So the mistake we make is we look for the retest on of the wedge itself, but what you should be looking for is a retest along the lines of an inside tail. Okay, so here is an inside tail which lines up pretty close to the wedge. You can see it lines up to the left. There's another one further down here as well, which we didn't quite get to. But there's your inside tails there. So you're looking for an area where price comes back to. It doesn't necessarily have to come and test the trend line. Okay, so it can come back and test you down here. That's pretty much what happened. Okay, so anyway, guys, that is my view for now. This we could just amble along for most of the day and then break through this weekly level, which would be interesting to see. So I could break through this area here and push for this swing low here. Okay, so we could still head up to this area before something happens. But I'm fairly positive that we're going to get something coming off this area shortly. Okay, may not be today. We may still rally a bit today and then sell off. But for me, I only want to be long on the pullback. So I'm looking for pullbacks. So we'll look for it on the half hour or the 15-minute. Wait for a pullback, and then look for an entry to get long. Okay. So just remember, if we do get above the high of yesterday, we do get like a half hour close above the high of yesterday, then you can almost expect that that level is gone, and then look for the next level to get tagged. Okay. So that's my view at the moment. Kind of a mixed bag. Still looking for. Not looking for longs unless we pull back fairly decently. Okay, we need a bit of a decent pullback, or we got the oscillators group to the downside on the hour or even 30-minute hour. There may be an opportunity for a long with a very tight stop, but looking to take profits at every single daily level because there are a couple here. Just get them drawn in and make sure you are paying attention to them. Okay, just you'll see what I mean. There's price there. You see we are a couple of levels in this area. Okay. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short somewhere in this area, but you're going to have to be patient for this because it is a daily setup, not a lower time frame setup. Okay. And I think last thing, let's just have a look at the ichimoku quickly. We don't have anything on the daily, nothing of any significance on the daily. Nothing really on the weekly trend is up. Sorry, on the 4-hour trend is up, and on the 1-hour trend is still up as well. Although we've got some deviation from Tekinson and Kijinson, which is not always a good thing. Okay, and on the weekly, we are coming up to the underside of the cloud. Okay, so the weekly, this is negative, this is bearish. We're coming up to the underside of the cloud, and we've also got the weekly Kijinson here as well. Okay, so I am still of the opinion somewhere in this zone, unfortunately it's quite a big zone between the blue line and the red line here, there is going to be sellers stepping in, and that zone is 2400, and to the upside it is 24,320. Okay, so somewhere in this area I would expect a sell-off. We may still rally for today, and then the sell-off only starts next week. Okay, and yeah, it's going to be a test of the cloud, so that's what I'm expecting to happen fairly soon. Okay, but until then, we trade with the direction that we go, well, the trend is, and that is to the upside. So if we do get through this level, then we've got the next level to aim for. All right, anyway, guys, that's enough rambling. I hope that helps. Just be very cautious today. We are at a fairly significant level, so don't expect fireworks unless something really positive comes out of the trade talks. But we should start with earnings soon as well. So there's a couple of things that we need to be worried about. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of the day. I hope it helps somewhat, and enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.